Great morning, great morning. Coming to you at 0500 and 47 minutes, Saturday, October 20th, 2018. And I was just thinking things that happen to you in life, how life goes. There is no prediction. You cannot predict what is going to happen in life. The reason you cannot predict what is happening in life because life is always at a constant. And if life is always at a constant, change can occur at any time. There's no warning. I don't know why we don't talk about this more. If you notice, I like to talk about things like literally we don't talk about no more. We literally don't talk about characteristics, attributes. And then a lot of people meet people. You meet people with all these disorders and dysfunction. And then you meet people that just feel as they're right because it's part of the function. I don't want to be right. Let's get to the truth. I like always like the all truth because the truth is a whole bunch of factors. If you keep telling me the sky is red, the sky is red, even if it's not true today, and then 5 months later you're like, remember that day I said that? Yeah, you did say that. I can't call you a liar. And that's what's going on. We're literally creating a truth. So I say, is that the all truth? Was the sky really now to it? And people say, well, you're kind of, what's the word you like to use? Not pestering. That's rebellious. That's wrong. It's like instead of just going with the flow. And it's like, well, if you're gonna say, I say all truth because in the spirit it's all. Law is all. It works with natural work was in the spirit. So if I'm gonna fight you, not physically, but with my words, I have to know the law. It's not saying that the law control the spirit or the spirit basically control everything. You ever go into an atmosphere where it's like, wow, why is it so negative? Listen to the people talk. Look at their actions. Like they're like, oh, my night was bad. Oh, this day sucks. It's Monday. It's Saturday. In certain times, it's like just the atmosphere. And you ever been to an atmosphere where people feel like they full of joy? Well, listen to them talk. That's all you got to do a lot of the time is listen to people talk. And people keep saying their actions don't work. I don't know what world you live in or what people been telling you to live in, but usually a person's words tell you what they're going to do. Like I keep hearing, let's talk about relationships real quick. That I didn't know a person was going to be this way. Now, I met many people in my 35 years. There's a questions you ask, and then there's like indirect questions, or it's questions that get answered along the way. But you have to literally, I spoke up before, it's a price. You have to pay attention. The well-being, the welfare of your body, the working of your body. What condition, what costs are you going to matter to you? Nobody talks about the cost. So to me, it's not a blame, but I'm gonna blame myself. So majority of the time, I'm looking at the person who to blame. Like instance, man and woman, that's the most common divide. And I'm a black man, and I talk to black women. Well, I'm 35. At 35 is as a quote unquote when we say black. African descent man or woman or indigo man or woman, that we got this notions, this, and this. I'm supposed to be a certain way because I'm 35. I'm not ideal where you think I should be or what I should have, but I already get the stigmas and stereotypes as soon as you look at me. And I tell people, don't matter how I talk. That don't even matter no more. Just like women say, nice. They say nice. I don't use nice. I just say good. Good man. Well, let's look at what is you got to really buckle down to yourself and ask you, what is good? What is good to me? Disrespecting a person at any time in their life is not good. Now, what are their relationship? Now, if you met a random person and the random person called me the N-word, it's different. Because that's random. Like, you just hate me because of my skin color. Yes, that's true. We see color. I wish people would stop saying the BS lines. I don't see color. I was like, how you don't? And we got this notion, the first people was dark skin. I was like, whatever. I don't even get into that with people. I just be quiet now because and what happened throughout history? They foster, nurtured, and breed it. This is why. And even in the why, it sounds funny. I was like, nobody even that sounds funny. The why even sound funny. So I don't say nothing no more. A lot of things I'm learning. Yes, at 35, I'm still learning. If you're not learning at 35, I'm not sure what you're doing in your life. That's so that you completed everything. You like the master. You the person. You the all-knowing person. There's an all. I think there's an all-knowing person per se of what is all-knowing on this earth. It's a person that pretty much buckled down in life and understands. They're all-knowing because they're whole, they're established. They already freed themselves from the curses. Like I'm on my working of freeing myself from curses. So as soon as you say I'm a stigma material stereotype, I'm not a curse. The most utilized curse is biblical law or biblical scripture. We keep saying we want change, and I was like, and we say this self consciously. I want to change, but just keep reciting curses to myself. Think about it. You get better, you're doing good. Then you think about your past. That's a curse. If all the people, all the events, all the activities you've done in your past brought you down, and you want to like go feature that again, that's a curse. See, we looking at even miracle. We look at miracle as this great big action. A miracle is a child being born. Do you know what happens in a woman's womb? What her cycles that she go through to create, form, and build the baby from that seed the man implanted in her? Do you know what? That's a miracle. See, that's a miracle to me. I remember I was in college, and I was at college at 28. I'm 35 now. And I was talking to the young ladies. We in the library, we in the room. How you not rent a room, but reserve a room, and you work together because you in class, and that's easier if you have time in between. You can hang out with the people. You ain't even got to be friends with them. I wasn't friends with none of those people, but out of respect, because I was like, we all going to school. Why don't we go to the library? We all took the initiative. Each one was like, oh, okay, cool. Because we learning like, wow, this is kind of different. And when we in class, I can get your view, but when I go home and do my homework, I don't really get your view. It don't allow. And what we did, we took the power of oneness. See, you don't get that. So you think the power of oneness is within yourself. It's with all people. And it was a whole bunch of, it was white, black, I think an Asian girl, lady or a guy, and Middle Eastern, Indian guy, whatever, or young lady. I don't remember the people, but I know it was just in an individual. We all had our things. We had our. I'm staying for this, but we was coming together. So when we had to solve a problem solving and crime is different from problem solving in math because sometimes you might have to think a little differently. See, in math is always an equation. But in solving problem solving, or like if you say problem or solving a picture that's given to you, when you look in a room and let's say you have a whole bunch of things in your living room. I tell you to look around your room, then you turn around, you step away for 5 minutes. I remove something. Then after 5 minutes over, I say, what did I remove? Or what did I turn? What did I change? How many people can actually do that? Think about that. That sounds funny, but I thought it was funny that I look at objects and then turn my head and try to remember how did it look. Or like if I also like the night, I turn out the lights and try to walk around and and I know I looked at this picture all day. So if I didn't go nowhere today, I just stepped outside, maybe went on the corner, and I come back. I'm like, all right, let me see what's different. I got so good at it, I can walk into my room and know if you stepped in it. So I want to talk to you about that was just a feature of what I wanted to like build up to what I wanted to say. As a person, you know you're going to go through life. I was homeless. I learned in my homelessness, it's a lot of things I never obtained or you never thought about attaining. Because they say, when a man become a man, I'm talking to the men because can't really tell a woman when she come a woman. A lot of women think they are a woman because they get breasts and have a period. And some men think they become a man once they have sex. And that's not always true. Or you become a mother or father once you have a child. No, you have a child. You are the parent. You are the mother and the father by biological reason. But by reason of how you treat this child now, that don't make you the mother. I can be adopted, and a woman that adopted me can become my mother because she's doing things to show me the way. She's guiding me and challenging me in life so I can become who I need to become instead of just like a lost soul with no parents. So I'm not a bastard. And I learned it's so many skills I can like in that time. I thought I was helpless. I applied for jobs. Before that, I was staying with my mother for a little while. I'm not the type of person that didn't want to work. Jobs wasn't available because I just had a degree of computer networking. You're not really hiring jobs as IT. And I was like, when I did the IT jobs, that was really blowing my mind up. I was literally at jobs. They're like, what's wrong? I'm like, yo, this is hard. I was like, and then you need certifications. So that's even on top of that. I'm trying to get certified for different things. And I'm at work having trouble. And I just had to tell the guy, like, I got to go. Like, this one comedian guy on Vines or YouTube, like, I got to go. And then his screen turned black and white and then play the music. And like, I got to go. I got to go. And that's like, that's all I can do because just based on I only had one skill. I had one degree. I still have that one degree, but I have many skills now within a 5 to 6 year time period. I say 5 to 6 because it's about to be 6 years, literally like November, December. Oh no, it could be, yeah, I'm saying around that time. It'd be 6 years in December. Would it be six? One, two. Hold on. No, that's not even 6 years. In a 4 year time frame, yes, 4 years. I thought about it when I was homeless for like a year, but I was homeless home like I had nowhere to go for 2 weeks. So I slept outside. I was sleeping. People I'm known like they might not have been home or just didn't notice me, and that's crazy. They didn't even notice me. I was in their backyards. So and I know like couple. I learned some tricks. I was around homeless people. I was like, man, we not using what we have in front of us to our best abilities. So that's what I started doing. I was like, man, it's resources in front of me. It's even talking to them. They knew the resources, but some people in their mind and their ways, it is very hard. And I had to start thinking about. I had like stop. Just because I can do this, that don't mean anybody else. I don't. It's no longer. I say just because I can do it, you can do it. I say, well, I did it, so I know you got to give this a try. Because to me, if you do math and I pass, I don't want to hear no excuses. Because if I see that you can do math and you telling me math is hard and I passed the math. It was so hard. Like when I took gym, I passed the trigger, but after that, I was like, I'm not taking no more math. I needed two more math. They was more advanced. I was like, I couldn't go through another year of doing this. And even doing the tutor, I was like, this is crazy. I was like, this is no way. And that's when I started learning too, even before I was homeless. When I was going to school, my life cannot be this way. It's something more. But then, not gonna be funny, and I'll share my experience with religion. I got into religion. Religion jacked me up. It jacked me up because if I'm reading and the spirit tells me some things are wrong, then some things are wrong. I'm gonna listen because it's no way, no person, and I don't care how many women that didn't want to be with me, have children with me. I can't sacrifice because that's a sacrifice to my being of who I am. I'm not going to sacrifice who I am for some. That's to me, marriage on earth is vanity. It's not sacred. It's not a remnant because you're using a worldly method. We're not getting married spiritually. Because if we working in love, love has substance and elements. But love is not hurtful. It's not beating. It's not abuse. It's kind. It's loving. It's corny. Love is corny. Put it that way, how we want to call it. Love is being thirsty. Love is being a simp. Love is being a hater. That means when I see another woman, I know you got booty. I can see your booty, but I don't want your booty. I got booty right here. I can grab it and touch it and feel it. It's real. She's there for me. I'm not talking about, and I want to be with my own. That's me. And I'm not, and I started listening to religion. It was like, and I'm not going to lie, I was in a trance. I'm doing everything I can do. And then I started, and I watched this one show, and it's so funny. It's called Black Mirrors. Watch Black Mirrors. It's episode 3. No, season 3, episode 1, 2. It's only like so many episodes. It was a black man, and he was in the military, but they kind of military in the future. And they called these people roaches. But what they do, they would implant these things in them, so their mind only be one way. It was a one-way view. And it was so bad. The one-way view is in reality, you standing outside. It was a woman in front of him. She was beautiful. I looked her up. Beautiful lady. And she was beautiful in the show. No makeup, just beautiful. And even at the end of that episode, he broke from the implant because one of the roaches, there wasn't nothing wrong with these people, but the implant made them see them as like zombie looking. They teeth was all, and it was like. And then when he zapped them with the Men in Black little thing, that's my hand. No demons or nothing crazy. It's a hand in to my left, probably to your right if you're looking at the screen, but it should be on your left. I don't know. Sometimes the screen flip around. That's the light from my room. And so even at the end of the episode, he put the implant. He was just crying because it was like a sunken place. He knew she wasn't really there. They took the memory away. But with the roach thing, it like interfered with the frequency. And allowed him to smell. He couldn't smell with that thing. It took away a lot of your senses because it got to keep you trance. And that's when I'm not going to apologize. That's what religion did to me. And everybody I talk to is like, that's what I feel like. I'm watching people in a trance. Then I seen the pastor as the ringmaster. Then the bishop as the overhead of the ringmaster. Like he owned this. It's like a circus. And I'm not going to lie. There were some things that are great. The word in the one lady, the great word she was saying about women to men, men to women. Life, just life. About how the parents should. That was so great. But a lot of the things I came in and kept hearing the same things over and over. Like I'm in a trance. It wouldn't even allow me to go out to study. Because then you would read the scripture and it say, well, your thoughts are not my thoughts. What else some things? And it's like, no, that can't be it. That can't. Because if he allowed me to bear more than I could bear, because he's already there. He will always be there for me. He said he would never forsake thee or leave thee. Because I'm not covenanting nobody's wife. I'm being content. But he said you can thrive and strive. The spirit, when I started reading and started studying like the history of of America, the making of America, and like the law, then go read the Bible. I feel like I was like that scripture could not connect to me because it started saying, well. And I got away because when I first met the guy that led me to Jesus, God, whatever, he was like, he asked me, what was the question? He's like, who's doing this? I kept saying I am. He kept always saying he need God to brush his, quote unquote, God to brush his teeth. That's his words. I was like, no, you don't. And then I learned, and the power of oneness, that's a power and ability he gave you access to. I don't have to pray to brush my teeth anymore. I never had to. Then it's like worship him. And then the more you read, it's like he never said worship me. Then there's so many versions. There's so many versions of the Bible that says he called the first Enoch Christians. Then there's another version that don't say that. Then there's another version that said he gave us his son and he called him the morning star, or what is it called? The morning star or the other star. But it talked about a fallen angel as well. And it's like they came down the same way. Then they called them Jesus, but then we say the fallen angels are the demons. That's Lucifer, the devil, the devil. So it's like, man, it's the versions is so confusing. And then when I started getting into that, so I was like, well, I'm studying. So I took all the Bibles in different versions. I'm at the library. I'm reading the 1611 lexicon. I'm seeing how words been changed. And if you change a word, you change the order, you change the power, you change a lot. Or you leave a word out, then you will read, do not add on or take away. Then it's like, what am I adding on and take away? Because if I'm asked to explain it, I don't want to recite a scripture to the young man. Because I remember a young man he asked me, is do Kobe Bryant love his wife? I was in Yuma, Arizona. I was in the military at this time. I was about, I was between 18 and 22, and maybe 23. I was playing 18 to 23 because I was at 22. I was a sergeant in the United States Marine Corps. Semper Fi, hoorah. Honor, courage, commitment. And that was great for my values. Honor, courage, and commitment still live by to today. I lived by it before I even heard that because of my mother, the parents around me, my guardian, the people that was had my best at interest, my best at my love, the substance, the elements that I needed. And he said, "Dude, Kobe loved his wife." And at the time, I didn't. When I was in the service, I didn't. I was not an atheist or agnostic. I didn't believe in God. I didn't believe in none of that crap. Never really read. I didn't really study. A lot of my life is observation, and still haven't. People say, "Why don't you do that?" I was like, "You did, right? What happened?" Okay, so I would never tell you to do anything that if it's working for you, let it work. I mean, working for you better. It's not bad that you haven't been shot at before. It's not bad that you grew up in a nice neighborhood. You're a young black man, a young black woman, quote unquote black. You're African descent. You're indig- I'm gonna call it, and I don't like the word. You're African descent or indigo. I'm gonna stop saying black. I told myself that the word is gone unless I'm in a group environment. But this is like a group environment in a sense. And I had to think. I thought about it, and I was like, that don't make. I had to answer the question a little very different. It's just because these little. I was noticed out there when I was there. I don't know why. All these little dudes gravitated towards me. When I was in Arizona, I felt like when I was in the military, I felt like I had everything I wanted. But then when I started getting around people that was constantly in a trance or a curse, you start losing who you are because you started wanting to like, man, he got a car, but he don't work. He got a wife, but he didn't work for her. Like, know what I'm saying? It's like he didn't do nothing. So if I could just pray like him, and I'm like, that don't work for me. I cannot not study outside the Bible. I can't like if somebody and then when you around people that just challenging you, like I'm not challenging y'all Bible. All y'all doing is challenging me because I am reading outside of the Bibles. All these I'm out of the church. I'm not out there having sex. I'm not out there womanizing women. I'm not being a whoremonger. I'm not on drugs. I'm not doing nothing to hurt no. I'm minding my business. Literally, I'm going to work and home and going to sleep. I'm creating relationships. I'm talking to people that I and but when you come back, it's something. But when they come back with babies and men, then another man or another woman, another, it's like I don't get into your life. One time I thought this young lady was with this man, and the young dude went to the school she went to. She was just out of she was in college, but just out of high school because he went to a school called Middle College. Come to find out, this older man was messing with this younger lady. Cool, I had no problem with that. But his wife was at home sick. She was helping take. She was basically around him. So he grew up watching her. That okay, cool. People say that's nasty. Not even knowing that, but the earnestness of him being with her was like that's not even gonna work. You was having affairs that weren't even honoring his wife. I was like, dang, he defiled. And I was like, that's the. And before I heard it, I was like, that's bad. What'd you call like? I like, he nasty his bed. He messed up his bed. I used to say that. Then I finally I read the word and it was like I like, wow, that's a better word. He defiled his bed. He had it in order. It was in line. It was great. It was comfortable. And he wanted to mess around because of his own lust and desires, which he could have explored with his wife. Not the bringing the girl into the bedroom or sharing what he promised to her. He made a commitment to her to always not give himself. When you went to marriage, they gave each other their selves, their souls. That's why I say these marriages are not spiritual because you're just creating an obligation and a duty to get my assets, to get my worth, my network, all these worldly things. But you're not coming from my heart. There's a question of my heart. You got it. It's like, I like that. Matrimony. There's no matrimony no more. I haven't used that in a while either. Because the word mattress is in the beginning. But matrimony means to come together. It's under spiritual guidance. Matrimony is spiritual guidance. And we're getting married not under spiritual guidance. Because even people that's marrying people defiling their beds, they're doing wrong. We're not saying, and people like, and we like to use he's holier than thou. No, he's not holy. He's living a value, a positive and good value, a purpose, a stand. I don't like standards, a stand, morals and ethics that is you can't go against. I'm not going to bash a man for doing anything that's great. Like when you like a woman, you admire a lady from afar, go after her. I'm not going to get mad. She turn you down, okay, move on. There's next. And if she say, well, maybe, well, you could be a little persistent then, but be mindful of your hurt. See, nobody talks about that. So when Kobe went out and did what he did, I told the young man, that don't mean he don't love his wife or daughter less. His own mind and his desires, he allowed his desires to overcome him. And in some lines I said that per se, but I know I explained it in a certain way. I don't know what he went home and said, but I know I left the young man, like I guided him and challenged him. So I was like, be always mindful of what you're doing. I was like, he wasn't mindful. He allowed the girl to come up, like, and he was like 8 or 10. It's not my son, but he asked me a question. I was like, man, I'm happy he asked me instead of some fool around the corner. Because a lot of men and a lot of women are fools that try to guide and challenge people. Like even people I follow. I'm like, y'all great for this. I followed this one lady recently. Now I just listened to her. I was like, well, I wouldn't want to. She's so beautiful. Oh my, she is very beautiful. Like gorgeous. She's elegant. She's like statuesque to the persona, the persona, like my vision of a woman. But she gossips. I don't want that. I don't want her to let them know I'm with her or what we might be doing. Like DJ Khaled said, he don't go down to his wife. Why was that even important for you to say to us? He marries. That's why I know it's not spiritual marriage. Because easily said, well, that's between me and my wife. But we do the thing. In so many words, we know we do the thing because we married. I hope you doing the thing when you marry. I hope you making love, having sex. I hope you role playing. I hope you learning how to pole dance. I hope the man learning how to be more romantic, sensual, sexual with his wife. I hope he is. That's the last and first person you're gonna see for the rest of your life in that perspective. That's the only person she should want to only see. That's the point of marriage to me. My marriage, I'm tired of playing these games. I'm so tired of being alone. Doom, doom, doom. She's my greatest and one and only inspiration. My latest and greatest inspiration. Was that Marvin Gaye? That's a great song. I just heard that more recently. I started listening to it. And I don't like really listen. And I found out now it was weird to me. And the more I study and spiritually get discerned, I don't really like listening to dead people music. Like they're dead in their vessel. Their spirit is here because we playing their music. And I was like, it's like you garnishing or grooming a spirit to come back to life. So when people play roles, you like, okay, you look like Aaliyah, but I don't want you to play her role. I don't watch Aaliyah videos no more. Not gonna lie, Leah was my woman. She was alive. I was looking at her naked. I was happy to see her and whatever, whatever. Now she's passed away. The stuff I don't Google Aaliyah. I don't Google her. She's not here. That's kind of like even when I see like Kim Kardashian and Beyonce. When Beyonce got nude recently, I was like, what the hell? You got Indian, you got some implants. Why? You got a career, you got a group presented with everybody of all nationalities and creeds, preferences called the Beehive. You don't have to do that. That's what people that's trying to make it. You made it. You not a I guess, and then you become greedy. The seven, and I'm watching an anime called. We can forget about the seven deadly sins: greed, gluttony. I really don't ever say them all. Envy, jealousy, hate. I know like one of them is all together. Like we don't even talk about that no more. I remember a lady said she would start going to churches to pray because nothing would change. She wanted to get like jealousy and enviness out of her. And she'd been to like all these churches. And finally she went to the right church. You could always go to the wrong people, but get something out of it. Just like I've been in relationships, I don't mean I learned anything. And so what she was doing, the pastor finally said to her, we're gonna pray, but I won't stop. He's like, you praying for jealousy. You telling me you went to all these people and there's nothing changes. And you know what he told her? And she needed to hear this. And that's how I talk to women. And women tell me I know how to talk to them. And I tell women, do you want me to learn how to, because talking to you is actually manipulating you. No woman gets that now. I have not yet. I'll tell them that's manipulation. You want to hear what I'm calling you beautiful because in my eyes, I don't care what no man or other woman say about you. To me, you are beautiful. I don't have no other reason to call you beautiful if I don't see it myself. I'm not just going to prop you up. And just like my words, I'm being so honest with my words. And that's a too much. That is actually never too much being honest. There's no such thing to me. And if you're like that, there's no such thing as being too honest. Because if you're honest, it got to draw a person away from you or it's going to draw them to you. So they're going to start fashioning and garnishing like, maybe I should be a little bit more honest. So, okay, tell me the truth. I don't care what. I would rather you tell me all the truth every time than not say nothing at all because that's kind of you're fashioning a lie. Or you're going to eventually, if you're going to just be quiet, you might as well not say, you might not even be around me or talk to me. And he told her, I don't have to pray for this about you. He said, you need to do this yourself. Because you're talking about being jealous. And he asked, like, right now, what are you? Look at one of these, like, she's like, I'm jealous of that woman in that skirt. And he was like, why are you jealous? So he's like, look at you. You look nice. He said nice, quote unquote nice. You look beautiful. Not coming at you. You look beautiful. Why are you jealous of another? You telling me you cannot go to work or you cannot just walk up to her and compliment her, ask her where she get the dress from or who's the style of the maker of the dress, may not want the same. That you're allowing yourself to grow roots from a seed that never had to happen. That's why in reading the word, it's like curses. I don't want to curse. I'm not going to keep, and I was like, if I keep reciting this over and over, just like songs you listen to, they kind of like reinforce or the empowerment is negative. I love myself, but F that man. What? You just went positive to negative in 2.5 seconds, one like 8/10 of a second, and listen to songs you listen to. You get so excited, and I'll be listening to like people. I look at people playlists. I was like, dang, you empowered. But even a Mary J song, when Mary started finding love, she lost her fans because Mary no longer was saying, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna kiss your ass no more. See, it was positive. Then she said, I'm not gonna kiss your ass. It was 7 years or Sparkle. Like it was when a woman fed up. it's like it's nothing you can do about it. That's cool. We know that. But then it drags on and it's like, okay, I know why you fed up. She tired of you. You don't help. She come home, the dish is dirty. She need a little help. I know that. But we so reinforce it. So like we read Deuteronomy about slavery. My people be gonna be well if we keep doing that. But and if I tell you, well, you reading this Bible and you reading Deuteronomy, that derived from a Wiccan religion. They made it demonic. So imagine what all the stuff that and nobody want to hear that, and it changed over time. So I'm gonna use it monetary wise and spiritually and naturally. Okay, I'm on the YouTube. I have all these videos. I'm not monetizing my YouTube, but one thing we gotta start reading and understanding: all property, all publications, all copyrights of all my videos is but ownership of YouTube. If YouTube shut down right now, and I was speaking of, what other skills do you have? You don't have any other skills. And as I was saying, I was homeless. I started learning so much. I started reading more. Like even before that, I was just reading more. I was trying to get jobs at McDonald's, making it was 15, 25 an hour. They asking me, the manager, like, why you want to work here? I'm not want to take your McDonald's job. I don't want to be here no longer than a year or two. I just need a job right now to get on my feet, to get me going to my next place. I don't need to take nothing from you. And that's what they thinking. Big lots, McDonald's. I apply and it's like, why you want to work here? Got a degree. Well, why you work here? Don't you got like I'm like, and you want to respond back. You're just like, all right, I'm gonna just keep my cool. And I'm learning how to keep my cool and still respond to you. And then I'm learning if you don't want to talk to me, you just want to direct your words at me, I just be quiet and I walk away. Because I learned I can learn from you, but if you're not willing to learn from me, I don't care if you're not learning. If I can't challenge what you say respectively, because that's how I learn. Because if I can't learn from you. If I can't say nothing back, so I'm just gonna listen. And then majority of stuff you probably telling me I already know. And there's some things in there you're telling me, I don't really want to hear you no more. Because you're not even allowing me to say, well, I know this part. Like I even just went through this last night with a guy, with my neighbor. I know this part. And he would never just let me. He wanted to explain the whole thing. I was like, I don't want to know I know the whole thing. Tell me this part. This part I didn't know. Thank you. I couldn't get to that. Just like when you get agitated, you're least likely to say thank you to somebody. You're least likely to do your common attributes that make you a great person that they see. But they could people that get to see you. But if a person just met you, you really don't get that. You don't got that time and opportunity and chance yet. It's going off that first draw. So I had to expand myself, basically. I could no longer say, well, I am helpless. My voice is not heard. I was like, then I started putting everything together. When I worked in the church, I learned how to do the furnace, the heater. I was around my uncles and my cousin. I didn't grow up with them, around them as I was older. I was learning how to fix things now. I was fixing cars. I learned how to do a tire. I learned how to fix the flat. I learned how to change the tire. I learned how to, growing up, I was taking things apart. That's a skill. Like the one dude I went to high school with, he's supposed to be in the Marine Corps with me, didn't. He knew how to literally took the car back, take the car apart and put it back together, literally. And sometimes, and I watched him do it before. I watched him because at the time I was learning. I was like, I'm not gonna interrupt you. And it's like I don't know what he ain't had no book, no nothing. I literally watched him take this car apart, and it was something was missing. So he didn't know what was missing because whoever put the company put the car together, and it was this part that was missing. But when the car messed up, he couldn't figure it out. So he literally had to. I mean, he took the car apart and put it back together. Some parts he didn't take all the way off. I don't gotta take the car off the hinges of the door, like the frame, but like the motor and all the things that got a screw in it and all that. He took it apart. They got a cord. He took the cords off and he laid them out in front of him, and then he put it. and he found out what it was. I cannot recall what it was missing, and he had the part, and the part was like somewhere in here, and I think he probably removed it or the place that did it, because back then the cars they were more electronics now. Things are more electronic. They put in warranty and stickers and water. So it's like, while you don't want me to fix it, I can make it better to help you. I can become a partner, and they just don't. So I don't really care for electronics no more. I'll always buy the lowest and cheapest telephone. Like the phone I have for this is by Cricket, and it's always the lowest one. It's always one that's $30, and when I get a new one, I'm only paying about $40 for to get my new phone and service every time. My service is already on it. My bill already paid. Only got to pay like $25. I keep everything going, and I'm using Google. That's taking over the world. I just log back on to Google and everything back on my phone. Log onto my account, log out, then log back in. Everything's there, just like the YouTube. All my videos, all everything else. So you gotta learn, if YouTube your only platform, if you only got one skill, you gotta have more than one skill. You need more than one platform. So if it's shut down, you will have other money generating opportunities, and you will have other revenues. You will have other opportunities. You never know. When I get done with a job, it's crazy. It's fascinating how other jobs call me right away. It's like I know when to leave, and that's spiritually inclined to me. That's spirit, like that's my talent. I'm spiritually inclined because I'm very observant. I mean, I'll be tripping people out. They're like, "How do you know that?" Because I'm literally watching you. You can call it stalkerish, you can call it creepy all you want. And it was funny. I remember, and it's more recently. I'm gonna give you a recent one. I ain't gonna give you one like every year of my life. I also met somebody. It's always a woman because, of course, I'm a man. I pay attention to women. That's how I was a young man. I was a growing man. And at the job, girl, she called me all these type of names. She enjoyed it that I flirted with her, but and I hate if a woman do that and she call you out, and it's like, and she call you out in front of people, and it's like, well, I'm not doing it anymore. She was like, no, I'll keep doing it because she liked that. She called out. Then one day something happened. She lost. I'm trying to recall. She lost something she couldn't remember, and you could tell in her mind she didn't want to do it. She kept, like, every time we had like a in between time we wasn't helping a resident, she kept leading me to a conversation and never want to say what she wanted. And then we had a real long down of a time, like residents in bed, everybody. We did everything. We was ahead. It was like 8 o'clock. Residents was tired that night, and we was working together. And certain residents didn't want to go to bed, but all the ones that wanted, it was like we just chilling. And she finally asked me. She asked me whatever it was. She asked me. She didn't want to ask me because I am very observant, and she literally had to ask me what she thought I was doing was creepy, and it was weird to her. So she was like, "OJ, can you recall such and such and such?" I don't know if it was a clothing item or what it was. I was like, "You really want the answer? You asking me? I'm creepy and all this." And she just gave me the strangest look. She couldn't even laugh because she was serious. I was like, "Okay, here we go." And I told her, and wherever she went to, she found it. It was weird because I shouldn't have remembered that, but I'm the type of person that remembered that. I'm paying attention. I notice if you come out the bathroom and something's like your clothes not fixated the right way, or I can tell your aura changed, things like that. And she found it. She thanked me. I could see in her eyes, like, but to her it was creepy, and it was still creepy that I can recall what she needed. But you want to call creepiness? Yeah, I'll be a good detective. Like, it's so funny. I won't find things during the day. Let it hit nighttime, and I learned maybe it's the light. When the light reflect off of thing, it could be pitch black. But all you need is a certain type of reflection. Even in the dark, there's still reflections. Don't think that you got a mirror. There's no reflection in the dark. It's a reflection. because it's still some light shining through at some point, whether it's your eyes adjust into the dark or what. And I can find it in the dark. So it's things like that. It's like, so what somebody might call creepy, you might have a great time. So that's a skill you can have. You may not look at it that way. Like, and like attention to detail. I won't have my glasses on. And when I don't have my glasses on, I can't really see that far, but I can make out the silhouette of a person. So I got good at it. I remember that I was with my guy friend. I'm going to end this in a little bit. He was like, "You spotted that woman by her booty." I was like, "No, I didn't." He's like, "You didn't see her." Because we both had the same view. And I couldn't lie. I was like, "I did." He was like, "That was amazing." And at the same time to him, like, that's still creepy. How do you spot a woman by her booty? Like, it's like you literally, that's what you, because that's like literally, that's all we both can see. Anybody that, I don't know what she was doing or where she was at. It was because she was about 5'6", and and every time I seen her, it was always in. It's funny, even in that time, it was compromising situation when I was only outlining a certain, like this time was her booty, outlining her booty, because the way when you look, that's all you basically can see of her. Her booty wasn't big, but the way they had the thing, we was in the mall. What you call that? The display set in the mall. You only can see like certain parts of like if the person walked by, you can see certain parts of their body. He's like identify. I was like, well, I can't help it. And so, but that's about me. That's a skill with talent. People want to call it that. So, but make sure you have other platforms. Just don't be so quick to produce and like you got so many ideas. I want to get to this too. Challenge you and make you think about things that you do. You like watching gossip. Change that into a talent. I don't mean in a hateful, in a love and hip hop way. That gossip you might have might open people's eyes to other things. I feel as me talking, I might open your eyes into some other things and to get you to think like, oh dang, because that's what happened when people talk to me. I talk to young people and I just let them talk. And you can tell a lot of young people don't talk to nobody because there's nobody around to listen or somebody's around, but they're always busy. So I just let them talk. I was like, well, it was just meant for me to just open my mouth to you and you talk. You talk. Go ahead. I don't want to say nothing. You say it. This is meant for your time. I met you for you to talk. You needed to talk. So I can't wait. I can't wait when people start questions and we start forums. We go into discussion boards, and I want to get the solution going. Like I want to see African descent, indigo people, or African, literally people from other countries. We come together and we start building, forming, and creating again. I cannot wait to see this. And I'm gonna see it in my lifetime. Well, there's with 20 people, 20 families. We're not gonna be perfect. Some kids gonna get in trouble. Things gonna happen. But I can see we're gonna be working towards a better society for I don't have children. I'm getting to be okay with not being married and having children. But I know there's a lot of young men out there that's fatherless. Their father's not there. And when the father's not there, I can fill in that space. Be like, come on, let's go to a game. You can throw the football at me. Let's go. I really don't want to do it. But I know that's him that's like saying, I'm just letting him talk. He might see I don't want to do it. He gonna respect it. He's like, he don't want to do it. And children don't care. And that's the thing, that's what's great about children. You don't want to do something, but you just doing it with them. Children, and I was trying to tell this to my friend. He got a newborn. I'm like, she don't care about your spirit of who you are. She don't want to be around you yet because you're showing her to her you don't want to be around. Like, you keep making it more complicated. So I don't be around them yet. And I'm gonna keep. I'm not going to be around him because I know where his heart is at. He won't even take counsel of me that I asked him, ever lied to you? He said no. Ever steered you wrong? Ever? He's like no. But it was a hole, and because he liked to go with spirituality, I said it was a hole in front of you that you can't see. So most times you're gonna rely on your spirit, because sometimes it could be a hole in front of me that I can't see. And if somebody say, watch out for that hole, I don't care if they're lying. I had no reason to not. Even my enemies say, you better watch out for this punch. I'm like, all right. Well, I don't want enemy is me. If the person that's coming against me per se, I like to say it that way. He's like, watch out. Okay, I think I should watch out. A person that's coming against me, telling me to watch out, whether that person going to do it or not, like somebody else might be trying to do it, and they figured it out because they're watching you, they studying you. Who you watching and studying? I'm watching and studying them as I go about my day, enjoying my life. So when something happens, I'm like, you better watch out. That's what I was basically telling my friend, so-called quote unquote friend. I called him my covenant brother. I don't want to use that no more. That was too high. He didn't even understand that. And after he said that, I lost a lot for him. I lost a lot of my love for him because it was like, dude, it's a hole. Okay, walk in a hole. And you walk in that hole, and I'm the type of person, I have an option. I don't worry about you, how you feel about me. It's like somebody getting hurt, I got an option to help you. If I tell you not to go down that street or don't, and you fall in it and you go down that street anyway, you do what you want, I might take my time. Oh, you're not gonna make me feel bad for already warning you, for already being the person not best I can be to you. I'm not gonna guilt. That's guilt tripping. But I'm not a parent either. So when a child say, "Dad, you didn't do your job," I really did. And if you're a parent and you listen to other people talk about you shouldn't be guilt tripped, the one thing that you did, you helped birth this child into this earth. That's your responsibility from the day they was born to the day they die naturally or to the day you die naturally. That's your responsibility. That's your account. Your account is your seed or your embryo help create, birth this child unto this earth. That's no such thing as guilt trip. That's the mother, almighty truth. All praises to the creator truth. You did that, not me. So to say the child don't have to guilt trip you. You did that. That child did nothing. That child did nothing to make sure they self birth to this earth. That child did nothing to make sure they're birthed to this earth. Nothing at all. And then you want to tell that child, and most parents do call their child, they can be 90 and the daughter's 60 or the son's 60. And it's like, you still my baby? Yeah, you could. So you got a problem that they need help? Or if they're being a certain way, it's not on you. Word, word. Like my mother liked to say that. I don't tell you nothing. But I would tell my mother. She's like, what you think? Your mother never asked me what I think. Cause she tried to say you trying to I'm not trying to guilt trip you. You're not trying to acknowledge what you said and done at all either. So that's not guilt trip. That's not honesty. And that's how I said it to her. And I don't talk back. I don't talk back to my mother. But if you say one thing like that to her, that's talking back. I was like, Mom, that's not talking back. I wanted to say stop. But I was like, no. Just like when my father tried to call me out, not me, I was like, stop. Before he even got out the words. I was like, you of all people cannot say to me, nothing. Look at my mother. Look at the woman you created a child with. And he just walked out of the house. And it's things like that. And that's not getting smart. It's the truth. That's things you are able to say to your parents. That's why I loved in that church that day. She's like, look at your child and apologize. Parents was like, huh? You do things and said things to this child you had no business doing. You would tell your child not to break a window, but you out there breaking car windows over some man cheating on you. You out there fighting a man because this woman cheating on you. But you telling your child the opposite, not to fight, not to do this. You grooming your son to be this respectable man. And I said this to the woman. I was like, the way the guy was telling her, I said to her because he was saying, I was like, dude, okay, I got this. Because you're not explaining it. She's not receiving nothing you say. She's probably not going to receive. I was like, he's making sense. You're grooming your son to be what you never wanted to be with. Even now, Look at the men you are still choosing. You're not choosing the men like your son. So you still got to let your son, without the father being there, become this young man on his own in some rights. Groom to be respectable, but let him have his man part about him. Because you cannot show him that. Put him around men that can show him. And I don't mean men telling him men are trash or you not that great if you don't know. He still got to learn certain things. I still have to learn. Just because a woman give me attention, I don't mean she want to be with me. That don't mean she like me. I never was told that. But I was watching and I was listening to other women. I like listening to my era. I don't really care. People like, I like listening to married people. That married person have been on the date in 20 years, except for the same person. I just met you 3 weeks ago and we going on a date. That's cool. That's your grandmother. That's your aunt. That's somebody that's wise counsel. I still take it. It got flavor in it, but that don't mean that's exactly how it's going to be. And that's what I have to take with a grain of salt, with some spice. That's not how exactly it's going to be when I talk to you, and you know it's not. How I want to treat you. You want me to treat you as we are in the 1830s, but still, I'm just a first date. We first started talking. We talking about what we're going to be doing as a family, and we barely made it. We didn't even make it to a time we in a close quarter to see how strong our intimacy can be. It's not even sex, non-sexual. What about non-verbal? You talking about spending all my money already? Talking about if I don't do this and that, it's a no go. It's a no go. So you gotta be mindful of the things you do. You gotta, and the skills I have gained. It's not just about learning how to fix something, learning how to put things together. I, I, I had the skills I gained was knowing, not gang, like gang, that's stupid. That's a curse, whatever. It's a trap, it's a curse. And I had to get away from a lot of things. I was like, this is 2018. She wants chivalry. She like to use the word generous towards me. But when we flip it back around, there's no generosity. There's no reciprocation. So she want everything for her, but she don't want to earn it. And you feel like you gotta earn it. Well, you took 6 years to earn that master's degree, but you're gonna talk to a human that's a living object, a living being, and you telling me you're not gonna what? Okay. And this is what we doing in this world. So work on your platform, work on your gifts, on your time. Don't never give up. Keep going. I know I leave my tangents are different because I like to give you a well-rounded challenge and guidance of the aspects of life. One aspect of life is not narrowed to just one subject, one topic. You could talk about one topic and have many subjects. But let's keep work on them one by one. That's why I say shalom, nothing missing, nothing broken. Shola Salabosha. It's all is in order. It's organized. Put some order into it. That's the tongue's word. And Amniti Taba. Peace unto you, if I can recall that being correct. Some Chinese or Japanese people like I'm butchering it, and I'm probably saying the wrong meaning. But from what I remember and recall, what I wrote down and did the research on it, you'll have Japanese words on your body, don't know what they mean. Stop doing that. Stop doing things when you have no full understanding. I say, and I tell you, you might want to check that. I was doing that with a person. She kept telling me all these things. I looked up like that's wrong. But by then, after I finished, got to the nitty gritty of what I wanted to know, we wasn't talking no more. It only didn't last that long, like 2-3 weeks. Challenging me on things we done together, that was personal. Then you challenge me in the public, that's not cool. You're not the right woman for me. I never challenge you in the public. Especially if I'm just getting to know you. We can challenge me in the public, but the challenge gotta be like, okay, I remember you did say this and then you explaining it. It wasn't no love in that. It was like just you just wanted to be right, or you trying to you piggybacking off of something that you didn't even come in with questions. You just tried to come in with your point of view. Like come in with I don't want to come in with my question. I want your point of view. Because when I say unto one, I say unto all. It's your choice, it's your path, it's your journey. Please choose wisely. It's up to you. Love yourself. Do unto you that you want to see happen for you in the future. Prepare, plan, work on you. The greatest of all, enjoy life. He does gonna say something else. No, enjoy life. Don't worry about a 401k at 18. Don't worry about how much is gonna be in your bank account at 75 when you're 18 years old. You got so long of a way. But you're getting ready. You getting this information that you never not even from me, from other people. Watch. Pay attention. Shalom.